Hello, my name is Daria, welcome to my channel, and today I have a palette ranking for you. I will be talking about palettes that I used in No Pen Left Behind style in August and September. And this ranking was, and still is, I guess, a little bit difficult for me because first of all I've used 14 palettes during the last 2 months, but also almost all of these palettes are very good and I like them very much. In my last ranking video I've had the opposite problem. I wasn't in love with any of the palettes that I used in June and July, I guess. Yeah, but today I have a lot of palettes that I genuinely love. So this ranking is a little bit difficult because of that, and basically I like all of the palettes that I will be talking about today, and some of them are on the lower places just because all of the other palettes I like much better. And basically this ranking can change tomorrow. It can change in 5 minutes, so it's not like set in stone. And it's just my opinion. I want to make this disclaimer, and if you like the palettes that I don't like, or if you hate the palettes that I love, it's okay. It's just makeup. It's the beauty of the makeup. We all like different things. So let's just jump into this video because I have quite a lot to talk about. So my 14th place will go to this palette from Natasha Denona. It's mini pastel palette and it has 5 pastel shades in it. It's quite a nice palette, to be honest. I quite like it. I really like this pinkish shade, to use it in the inner corner, and all of the other shimmer shades are quite well also. They are nice, they are pigmented, but it's nothing special, you know. It's just a palette with some good shimmers and one matte shade. And also it's not a cohesive color story to me, it's more of a companion palette. So I think that's why it's also on the lower side of this rating. But I quite enjoy using this palette. It's quite nice, but you know, it's nothing special. I didn't expect anything magical about Natasha Denona formula, but I was expecting something more interesting, you could say. Also, I've bought this palette for like half off, I think, so I didn't pay the full price, and that's why I'm a little bit more lenient towards this palette, because if I paid, I don't know, 25 or 28 pounds for a mini palette, I would be quite disappointed with the quality, to be honest. It isn't worth the money, that's for sure, but it's quite a nice mini palette that I quite enjoyed using. The 13th place goes to Lush Life from Colourpop. I really like this palette. I really enjoy it. I just enjoy all of the other palettes more, but it has a great color story, especially for summer and for the beginning of the autumn, in my opinion, and all of the shades are quite nice. The only thing is that these shimmers are not as impactful as some indie eyeshadows, for example, so I think that's why I'm ranking it a little bit lower. But I've created with this palette a beautiful green look, and I've used this Monsoon shade, this beautiful dark blue shade, on my lower lash line, and I've used all of these green shades on my lid, and I love this look. I love this combination of this jewel toned greens and this blue shade. I really loved this look, and I've created also a look with these more orangey shades or more neutral shades, and I loved it as well. I don't know what to say, to be honest. I really like this palette, I really like the color story. I just wish the shimmer would be a little bit more impactful in it. 12th place goes to another Colourpop palette, and it's Beauty and the Beast palette. I love this movie. It was my favorite Disney movie when I was growing up, and I really like Belle, to be honest. But that's the color story of this palette, and it's quite a neutral color story, and I really like it. It's a neutral color story with the pops of color, with the pops of blue, and it also was a great palette to use, to be honest. I really enjoyed a look that I created with blues and yellows in this palette. I really like that combination, but I don't know, I really like the quality, I really like the color story of this palette. These shimmers are a little bit more impactful than the shimmers in Lush Life palette, but they're also not as sparkly and as beautiful as some of my indie shades. But I enjoy this color story. It's a very easy palette to use, and of course, like, the collab with Beauty and the Beast gives this palette some value in my eyes, to be honest. 11th place goes to this Desert Haze palette from Beauty Bay, and I really like this palette. I really like Beauty Bay's formula. I really like their mattes, I really like their shimmers. I like everything about it, to be honest. It's such a nice palette for summer and for the beginning of the autumn, because it has these warm shades in it, but also it has pops of greens, pop of blue, yellow. I just really like this palette, and this palette is right up my street because I really love my warm tone colors. I really love these oranges and yellows, and I've started to fall in love with green eyeshadows also for the past couple of months. So it's a beautiful palette for me, and I really loved the looks that I created. I just loved all of the other palettes a little bit more than this one, to be honest. And once again, I love shimmer shades from this palette, and it has some duochromes in it. It has some shifty shades, it has some sparkly shades, but I have shades that are a lot more impactful in my indie palettes. But yeah, I just love this palette, to be honest. And 10th place goes to this palette from Colourpop. It's Back to Hogwarts palette, and it's a collaboration with Harry Potter. And if I were to rank theming of the palettes, this palette would be the first place, just because I love Harry Potter. I grew up with the books, I've reread them a lot of times, to be honest, and I think that Harry Potter in a lot of ways made me the person that I am today, to be honest. But we are talking about this palette, and this palette is beautiful. I think the color story suits the theme quite well, but of course it's not the best quality because it's Colourpop shades, but I still really like it. I've created some beautiful looks with this palette, and also, once again, it has my favorite warm tones, it has greens, it has pop of blue, which I don't really care about that much, but I really liked a lot of the shades in this palette, to be honest, and I've created some beautiful looks with it. I especially loved warm tone looks that I was creating with this palette. But yeah, it's a great quality, it's a great color story, and I really like the theme of this palette. But of course I have other palettes that have better quality in them. Ninth place goes to this plastic palette from Blend Bunny Cosmetics, and I was waiting for so long for Blend Bunny to release a smaller palette that would have mattes and shimmers and that wouldn't be like some kind of a rainbow palette. And then you released this one, and I decided to grab it, especially when it went on sale on Glisten Cosmetics website. But I really enjoy this palette. I really like the quality of mattes, and I kind of knew that I would like it because everyone is raving about Blend Bunny mattes, but I was really pleasantly surprised with quality of the shimmers, because, well, not all of the shimmers in this palette, but for example this shallow shade, this gossip shade, this plastic shade, they are all very sparkly, very impactful, and I really loved them. And my favorite look, I don't know, maybe I should start taking pictures for this kind of videos, but my favorite look was when I mixed this side of the palette, so these pinks and more like a peachy shades with this shallow shade. I loved the look that I created with this combination, and I really love the color story because I love pinks. Pink is my favorite color. I think in eyeshadow I like pinks, purples, then warm tones like oranges and yellows, and then I like greens. And this palette has pinks and peaches, it has some warm tones, and it has a pop of teal, which I appreciate. So it's like a really great color story to me, and I also appreciate when palette leans on a lighter side, just because I'm pale myself. So yeah, I really like this palette. I like the quality of this palette. I like the color story. It's just a very easy palette to use. So I don't know. I don't have anything bad to say about it, to be honest. The ninth place goes to this 2 Up palette from Little Cosmetics. And I was very impressed with the quality of Little eyeshadows. I'm not really sure that I like this color story. For me, it's more like a palette with single shades in it, to be honest, but the quality of these shades is beautiful. I really like these shimmer shades because they are more like an iridescent shades in this palette, and like they don't look like duochromes in the pen, but on the eyes they for some reason create a beautiful shift, and I really appreciate it. And mattes are really great also. They are impactful, they are blendable, they are buildable, and they really give a lot of color payoff, to be honest. So I was just impressed with the quality of these eyeshadows, and that's why it's ranking higher than, for example, Blend Bunny Cosmetics palette. 7th place goes to Rose Quartz palette from Huda Beauty, and it's a classic for a reason, I think. It's a really beautiful pinky cool tone palette, and I was really impressed with the quality of this palette. I feel like I love Huda Beauty quality much more than I like Natasha Denona quality, to be honest. But maybe I just haven't tried some better palettes from Natasha Denona, I'm not sure. But anyway, a lot of these shades are very impactful. I'm talking about shimmer shades. I know that I don't like Quartz shade and this self-love shade because they are more shimmery, and I like my sparkler shades to be very impactful. But that's kind of okay because this shade I can use in the inner corner, and then like in this whole palette I don't like just one shade, which is great, to be honest. But I really love this color story. It's a cool tone palette, but I like it, and I like my purples, I like my pinks, so it's just a great palette to me. The 6th place goes to this Desert Monsoon palette from WhatsUp Beauty, and it's a really beautiful palette. It's truly beautiful. I like that it's small, but it has a lot of shades in it, and I really like that we have a lot of shimmers in this palette, to be honest. And all of the shades are up my street. Well, except maybe for this blue shade, but it's also like a purpley blue shade, so it's okay for me. I really like these purples, these pinks and greens shade in this palette, and I loved every look that I created with it. The shimmers are very impactful, each one of them. The mattes are beautiful, they blend really well. I just love this palette. I don't know, it's a great palette for an everyday look for me because I don't really need to think about it, you know. And it's also a great palette for traveling, at least I think so. But yeah, it's a beautiful, gorgeous palette, and I really love it. The 5th place goes to this palette from Beauty Moon Cosmetics, and it's Hope in Bloom. And I was surprised that I loved that palette as much as I did. It has like a great color story for me. It has pinks, purples, but I was afraid of this hot pink shade because I wasn't sure that I would love them, but I really did. They looked beautiful on me, and every look that I created with this palette I've loved. So that's kind of it. I really like the color story. I really like the balance of mattes and shimmers, and this shade, I thought it was a silver shade, but it's almost a duochrome shade, and on the eyes it looks pink. So I really like everything about this palette, that I think I will be using it a lot more. 4th place goes to Muse palette from Cosmic Beauty, and I love Cosmic Beauty. I think it's my favorite indie eyeshadow brand, to be honest, because they do everything that I want a palette to do, to be honest. They have impactful metallic shades. They have a very nice blendable mattes. The quality of mattes and shimmers are great. Like a lot of indie palettes in my experience have great mattes or great shimmers, but they don't have great shimmers and mattes in the same time, but all of the Cosmic Beauty palettes do. But also this palette has a great color story for me. It has once again pinks, purples, greens, warm tone neutrals, so I just love it, to be honest. And it's very easy to use, as are all of the Cosmic Beauty palettes for me. So I've really enjoyed every look that I created with this palette, and I can't wait to use it more. The third place goes to Love Language palette from Oden side, and that's me in the palette, to be honest. That's just me in the palette. I really love this color story. Once again, pinks, purples, some neutral shades. It's just perfect, and I'm wearing this palette on my eyes today, by the way. But it's so pretty, it's so romantic, it's so beautiful. If I had to choose my perfect palette, it just might be this one. Shimmers are impactful in this palette. I don't really notice any lackluster shades. They're all very beautiful and gorgeous. And mattes are great also, and I like that we have a lot of shimmers and not so many mattes, but at the same time I have all the mattes that I need to create a look, and this can be my everyday palette just because I consider it a neutral palette for me. Like, I can wear pinks and purples, I don't know, every day maybe, just because they are like a neutral shades for me. So yeah, it's just a beautiful everyday palette for me, and I really love the quality of it. I really like the color story, I like the theme of it. So it's just one of those palettes that I fell in love with, to be honest. And I was contemplating whether I should get it or not, but in the end I decided to ask it for my birthday from my husband, just because I knew that I would love this palette very much. And I was right, I do really love it. Second place goes to my Fairy Tale Europe palette from Nomad Cosmetics. And it's a beautiful palette, and I really love it too. And that's also a perfect palette for me, to be honest, because I really like all of the shimmers in this palette. They are all very impactful, and they have a lot of neutral for me shades, like this neutral rose, this pinky rose, this purpley raw, even this yellow raw. Like, all of this shade I consider neutral, but it also has some pop of color. This bluish rose, this red shade, so it has everything, to be honest. And also I really love that I have so much more shimmers in this palette that I have mattes. It's really difficult to finish matte or hit pan on a matte shade, and shimmers are always go quicker than mattes for me, but also shimmers are just more fun. I don't know, mattes for me create some base for a look, but then I create some fun pops of color with shimmers, and that's how it always been, to be honest. And these mattes go with any look that I want to create, so I can easily use them with all of these shimmers. So it's just a beautiful palette, and it doesn't crease on me. It's just a beautiful quality, and I really like it. And once again, I love the theme of this palette also. And the first place goes to my Rich Romantic palette from Glaminatrix Cosmetics, and it's once again a perfect palette for me. Yeah, you can see the theming and the colors that I really like, but it also has like purples and pinks and some kind of neutrals in it, and it's just perfect. I really love the quality of all of these shades. The mattes are impactful, blendable, They just go on the eyes without any problems, and shimmers are crazy in this palette. All of these shimmers are special shades. They are very shifty, they are duochromes or multichromes. They just great. That's the perfect palette that I would use for a day out, for a special occasion, or if I just wanted a little bit more sparkle on my eyes. And I've loved every look that I created with this palette. I really love the color story of it. I really love these shifty shades. They are special shades, but they are so easy to work with. I have some special shades that are more difficult to work with. I need to like think about it, you know, I need to be a little bit more careful, but with this palette I don't need to be. I just can pop it on my lids, pop any of this shimmer on my lids and go, and I love it. Yeah, I was so impressed with this palette. I didn't have any doubts in my mind that it would make the first place in this rating, to be honest, just because I love it so much. But that was it for this video. I'm very happy with all of the palettes that I've used for the past 2 months. As I said before, I like all of them, and there are so many palettes that I really love in this rating. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and I hope you will stay with me on my project painting journey. Thank you again so much for watching this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!